Welcome to RMM Help. In this video we provide an overview of stock issues directly to a docket in RMM. When we issue stock either to a docket or to a requisition, that will decrease our stock levels. Now, just before we create the issue to docket batch, I'd like us to have a quick look at the stock item that we're going to use, which is a new stock item for opening balance. We've got a current stock of 9. Our location is a whole workshop and a medical electronics workshop. There's 4 and 5 in each of those. And when we look in our transactions, we've got our opening balance, 2 transfers, and an issue which was a requisition. So we're going to add another transaction in here which will be directly to a job docket, and our location totals will reduce. We'll do this one from medical electronics, and our stock details, our overall balance, will reduce to 8. So that's looking at auditing the stock, and also just to demonstrate how efficient this is in terms of actually updating the work records. We've got a job here, 422-888, no heat from radiator, and you'll notice in the parts tab there are no parts yet issued. If I go to feedback, there's no parts cost, and in our job details we can see that the job detail is no heat from radiator or heater. Now, I'm mentioning that because typically when a colleague comes into stores to requisition a part, they will give you that job number directly from their job docket or PDA. However, we can also find the job number by doing a search in the stock issue form by using one of these keywords in here, and I'm going to choose radiator. So we'll come out of here, go directly into stock, and all our transactions go through batch transactions and a new batch, and in our batch header I'm going to choose issue to docket, and when I click on save I'll get an auto number, and this is the only time that in this batch transaction form the docket reference field is not grayed out. So I could just enter 422-888 in there if I wanted to, but I'll also show you how this find facility works. We can search in our work detail with a minimum of 4 characters, and as a default it automatically searches our WIP records. And if we needed to, let's say for instance we'd already archived a job to history and we received an invoice with some parts that were used, we could do this search on history. So you'll remember we said that we were going to use radiator as the keyword, and I hit return, and that's found a number of records, but our 422-888 is the second one down. I double click on that, it brings the docket reference over, and if we were to process this now, that docket reference will just appear in our reference field, but we can append something onto it if we want to. So if I type radiator again, in our reference field what will appear will be 422-888 hyphen and then the word radiator. Now we're going to add our new stock item, which had a supplier of APC cardiovascular, and when we look at the products we can see that there's our new stock item for opening balance, and we've got 9 in stock, so I'll choose that. That then fills the cost center and our purchase cost. We're going to issue 1, so I hit 1 and tab, and then this stock value will be automatically calculated, and at that point I can choose where I want to do the issue from. So you'll remember in the stock details we had 5 in our medical electronics store and 4 in the whole workshop, and we thought we might do this one from medical electronics. I click on OK, it saves that record, it'll exit the form, and then it takes me back into our scrolling batch list. If I wanted to add other issues to Docket at this point, I'll just click on Add Transaction, and if for any reason I needed to edit this, I've got an edit icon. But what I want to do is I want to commit this transaction at this point, so I click on Confirm Post. It asks me for confirmation, and then it tells me that that's been successful. Our issue job batch has gone, but if I click on Show me the posted batches, there it is sitting at the top. Double click on that and we can see the transaction, and at this point I can go back to our work record and straight into that job. When we look in the Parts tab now, we can see that we've got our new stock item. If I look in Feedback, you can see our parts cost has gone in there. So at this point we can see that we've saved the clerical effort on feedback by that automatically updating. Let's go back now into stock and we'll look at the effect that that's had on our stock item. Our stock level now is down to 8. Our locations, we should have 4 in each location now because we just issued the last one from the medical electronics store. And when we look in our transactions, here's our issue to job. So we had a previous issue with a transaction type of issue. This one is issue to job, and that's what its transaction type is. There's our job number and a hyphen and the appended radiator. And again, one stock item's been issued from medical electronic stores. So we can see a full audit here in the stock detail form, but if we go back onto our stock list and into our transaction inquiries, we can view that from multiple standpoints. We could look at it from the supplier standpoint and see APC cardiovascular, and there's our issue job with the job number and the appended radiator. I can do it there for that product, and it was product item 04. And there's the job again with the same reference, and I can do it by looking in the transaction type, and this time I do it for issues, and all our issues including issues to job are here, and you can see there's that job with my reference of 422-888 radiator. We can run an audit report. If I go back onto the list, I highlight the stock line, I click on reports, transaction report, and here's all my transactions including the last one, which is issue job. There's the job number and radiator that we appended to it, and as you can see there are all the transactions, pluses and minuses, and our total. I can print that, or I can save it in Excel, PDF or Word format and send that to a colleague. And that concludes the overview of issuing to a docket in RMM.